All right, there we go. All right, hello everybody. I am Dagenham. This is the Clutter of Cats channel on Twitch. Happy Halloween to any of you in the United States, or any of you not in the United States. Happy October 31st. Sounds more boring. Happy Halloween. But I know a lot of places don't celebrate it. It's I think mostly an American holiday these days. People, mostly kids, dress up and run from house to house, as we have right now. Oh no! Oh, it was our cats. Someone was pounding on the front door. Kids go from house to house, saying trick or treat, and whoever's there gives them candy. That's not a very complex holiday, but it is a lot of fun for the young ones, and adults usually go to parties and drink. So, to each their own. We don't have any plans tonight. We are staying in. I am working on my Twitch bot here, and we are going to work on that. And I think we're going to end up playing games with each other at the same time later, but not on stream. So, oh, I didn't get rid of that speck of dust on it. A sec. Cats are pounding on the front door. Is Ford there, actually?
It's Ford.
I'm gonna go pick up Ford. What better way to celebrate Halloween than a big black cat? Wow. All right. Anyway, that was Ford.
Were you muted?
Yeah, no, not the whole time. Right when I got back, I think I bumped this into the mute button. So unfortunately, you missed me saying hello to him. Introducing him. That was Ford. He is our tubby black cat. He's a really nice guy, though. And the legend goes black cats can bring 7 years of bad luck, but he's only 2, so covered for another 5 of bad luck. Anyway. Or however that goes. So, where were we with this? I think this was the thread? Yes, okay. We were working on incrementing users' points as they watch the stream. And we got that to work. Now we need to work on getting them actually in the vector that holds all the users so that they can get increment. Sounds a little weird, but what's basically going on is when the bot loads, it gets all the usernames from a file. Those usernames it loads into a vector, which is similar to an array, loads them in with however many points they had when the file was last written, and then every minute or whatever the time length is, it'll check to see if they are in the channel. Oh, actually, that's not the way it's written at the moment. We'll look at that later too. The ideal is it's going to look at everybody who's online at the moment. It's going to loop through that list and increment everybody who is in that list by the points. I didn't get the actual user list before. I just incremented everybody's points. So obviously that's got to change. But I wanted to play around with the get users function in its own stream, have its own time, because it's a little, from my understanding, it's a little wonky. There is a function that I have here all the way towards the bottom called onUsersList, or onUserList. When you connect to a channel, what supposedly happens is after your client and the server say hello a couple times just to make sure that you're connected, the server is supposed to send you the list of users in the channel. That's what onUserList should do. It doesn't. It only provides you with your user. So this is all hooked up to Dagonbot. When Dagonbot connects, he only gets, or it only gets Dagonbot back. Actually, I'm now wondering, maybe I have this keyed to the wrong channel, which is possible. But we'll look at that too. There's a function, which I forgot to get up before the stream. Let me get that up now. Bot. There's a function which I think is get users, which is what we're going to work with first. We're going to see if we can get this to function or anything else. And hopefully this provides a full list of users for the channel that we send it. And if it doesn't, that's when we're going to have to look back at this and try and figure out what's going on and maybe find some way to work around it. Not really sure how else to do it if this doesn't function, but it's possible I can do something else. And so that's, if it comes down to it, the rest of this stream will be, unfortunately, research, which might be a little boring. If it does end up like that, I'll try and complete the research on my own and present my findings at the beginning of the next stream, which will not be tomorrow, Saturday, because I have November 1st, because I have some plans. That would be on November 3rd, not mistaken. If I can add properly, yeah, November 3rd, which is next Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, but hopefully, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Here's this get users function. How do I actually use it? This is the helper bot. I don't need that. I need this. This was my temporary fix for this. This just gets all the viewers the bot has or has ever had and loops through all of them and adds the points. Now, obviously, that's not what it needs to do. It needs to be able to get the current users and just increment their points. That's why I added this note here. Add users to the list if not. I think what I need to do here, you know what, I'm going to comment this out for now. Because I want to reduce how many variables there are that might be erroring. I'm going to do this.theBot. The bot is a reference to the bot that's instantiated. And I'm going to do get users. Need the channel name. So that's this.thebot.get channel, I think. I think I had to get channel. Helper bot. Add user, initialize viewers, get settings, get viewer list, get queue, get channel. Okay. And channel should be stored as # or hashtag channel name, which is how this this needs it. which is something else I was thinking of. It's possible that I don't fully have it set up right for this on user list string channel. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna print out users.length. I'm gonna print out channel. It might be using non-hashtag channel, and so that's why it's only coming back with Dagenbot, but we'll figure that out. Actually, I'm going to do that here too. I want to see, it's obviously hooked up to the right thing. This is definitely hooked up to the right channel, this on message. This on user list might not be. So I'm going to find out. We're going to print both of these channels out to the terminal, which actually let's make sure we know which one it is too. User list channel plus. This one is on message channel plus. Actually, let's just do instead of that. Let's just do on list, just so we know where it's coming from. And this will tell us the two channels. It'll allow us to see if they're different. Because maybe I'm not actually setting that right now that I think about it. Because just to go back to this a little bit, it's been a while since I thought about it. Yeah, like here's this .bot channel. So I'm thinking it should be right if that's what it's joining. Oh, also, I'm going to bump that up. So what I just did is I increased the interval that it's going to request the users. I'm actually going to increase that a little more, another tenfold. I want it to run at 6 seconds. You know what? I'm going to be generous to them because they might have some limitations on this, which is good because you don't want people to create bots that come in through every channel and just download user lists constantly. That's a lot of traffic. So it's going to run. It's going to start running at 10 seconds, and then every 500 seconds after that, it's going to run again. That's fine. I really only want to see it run the one time, but at the same time, I don't want to mess with it too much. That's why I'm just changing variables. Okay, so there's get users. I think I need to do this. And we might have some trick-or-treaters. Cygnus handing out candy. I don't know if you can hear them. Probably not. Not sure how to word that one. I'm gonna leave it like that. So how were they? Ooh, we had a Flash, a Daredevil, and a Spider-Man. Right? I said that right? Yeah. All right. Let's clean this up. Oh. I've got indented a space. Hey, Slithix. Oh, that's fantastic. Obby190, OBBY190 is another fantastic streamer. She plays a lot of League of Legends if you're interested in that. and she's really funny. I would recommend watching her if you're into that kind of game. She plays a lot of variety of games too. We've got some more kids. If you can hear them, I hope you can, because it's great hearing them giggle and laugh and everything. But anyway, OBB190 is a really good streamer. She just got her subscription button, which is fantastic. Congratulations to her. She should have. She's good. I can't wait to go watch. Hey, Elite Unit, welcome back. Cygnus trying to make sure we have as little candy left as possible. Because otherwise I'll eat all of it. What were they? What were they this time? Okay. Didn't get costumes this time, but that's fine. They had... Well, she didn't remember what costumes they were. That's fine. Haven't missed much. I'm working on... I'm getting the code set up to test out the user lists. I'm mentioning some potential problems with them. I'm going to clean this out. I really just want this to loop through it if this works. Get used to saying, hey to me, I'll be here until the end. I appreciate that. It's good to have people who come in here all the time. It really is. So, this is my test code. I commented out the code that actually increments all of the users that are in the vector. And I'm going to start playing around with this getUsers function, which should, hopefully, get all of the users. It's not the actual supposed function that does that doesn't currently work, so I'm hoping this works. If this doesn't work, I'm not sure what I can do from there. But that's where we are. This is actually, let me see if I can correct this, because this is going to bug me a little bit. Oh, we got some more trick-or-treaters. She's, thank goodness for her, she's taking care of all that. Okay, so, I've set this thread a little differently. It's going to run at 10 seconds instead of at 6 seconds, and instead of running every 5 seconds, it's going to run every 500 seconds, because I want to... Oops. I want to make sure that it's not spamming the... It doesn't get locked out. Because if it gets locked out, then we're stuck anyway. So this will only do it the one time, and then I'll close it. I'm not going to wait 500 seconds. All right, let's save it, and then compile it. Oops. Oh, yeah. In order to include the user table, I need perkbot. Users is part of perkbot. I kind of wish you only had to include the libraries once. Like if I included all the libraries here, that these these 4 things would be able to use them. It's not the way Java is currently set up, and I don't blame them for that. It's actually it's kind of nice too. That way, it's not included all over the place. But give this a shot. Okay, so the onUserList channel is set to clutter of cats. That's good. Crap. That's not good. So I now have a function that can't get the user list. Bad. That's really, really bad. Crap. 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 So here's the on-message channel. That's obviously pointing to the right channel. And here's the channel that it's trying to get the users of, and that's not working. Crap. The bot takes a bit long to reply. It's I think it's currently set to every 10 seconds it prints out points. And I mean, for a small channel like mine, it's not that big a deal. But for a bigger channel, it's going to be more important for that not to spam, because then it'll get locked out. Twitch has something in place that automatically bans anybody that or any bot that spams more than like one message every, I think it's like 6 seconds or something. Twitch, get users in channel IRC. That is not supported. Your nickname must be that. Should be an OAuth token. You can get a token here. Server password on. Successful connection. Unsuccessful connection. Command join in message limit. So let's just go through this real quick. Oh wow, we are almost out of candy. If you send more than 20 commands or messages to the server within a 30-second period, you will get locked out for 8 hours automatically. These are not lifted, so please be careful when working with IRC. So that's why I limit how many messages it sends. Joins are rate limited to 50 joins per 15 seconds. Additional joins sent after this will cause an unsuccessful login. That makes sense. Mods can type 100 messages in a channel for hitting this rate limit. If a message is sent to a room with their global message count, it is already too high. Commands you can send. Most normal check commands are in place. For example, Zangold, you would type ban Zangold minus the quotes. Lines prefixed with that are sent from client to server, and lines prefixed with that are sent from the server to the connecting client. If you send an invalid command, you will receive a 421 numeric back. All right, join channel name. We know that one. That's working. Who channel is currently deprecated or depreciated. So you can't run who commands. List of users that are currently in the channel is sent after a successful join, so who is not often required. Due to caching, joins and parts are not sent immediately to a channel. They are instead batched up and sent every 10 seconds. After receiving your initial list of users, or after performing your first who, it is recommended to process parts and joins as they come in, instead of re-requesting this list from the server. Due to caching, the response to this command may be delayed up to 10 seconds on initial connect and may be up, but no more than to 10 seconds out of date. You cannot request a list as users for a channel that you did not join. That makes sense. Crap. So this is weird. This is just how to use all the different stuff. So what they're saying is, when you join a channel, up to 10 seconds later, you should get a user list. I'm not. I'm not getting a full user list. I'm only getting a user list that consists of Dagenbot, which is not helpful. Now, I can see why they don't want you to spam the user list, and they just want to give it to you the one time. That makes sense. And you can then write something. Go back to this. There's onJoin. So I can use onJoin in order to get people as they enter the room. And then I can use that to add them to the array rather than constantly, like once per minute, refreshing it. So that makes sense. I can deal with that. The problem is really that I need that initial list that I'm not currently getting. Let me just check this again. So at the moment, I can't run who command, which is, I suspect, what it was doing before. List of users that are currently in a channel is sent after a successful join, so who is not often required. Due to caching, joins and parts are not sent immediately to a channel. Instead, batched and sent every 10 seconds. Okay. After receiving your initial list of users or after performing your first who, it is recommended to process parts and joins as they come in instead of re-requesting this list from the server. Due to caching, the response to the command might be delayed at 10 seconds. You cannot request a list of users not join. Sorry to keep reading that over and over again. I'm trying to process it a little more. So the problem I'm having is I'm not receiving that initial user list properly. Is it again? I've got something set up wrong, which means that it's kind of time to look into that a little bit. This method is called when we receive a user list from the server after joining a channel. Shortly after joining a channel, the IRC server sends a list of all users in that channel. It's not right now. The perkbot collects this information and calls the method as soon as it has the full list, which it's not doing. To obtain the nick of each user in the channel, call the getNick method. At a later time, you may call the getUsers method to obtain an up-to-date users, which doesn't work. The implementation of this method in the perkbot abstract class performs no actions and may be overridden as required. Balls. Balls, 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 balls. And it looks like it's on the right channel because I have it printing out. Oh, yeah, let me actually... Oh, wow, this is going to really complicate things. So this isn't going to work. This get users function, it's only ever going to return me. Oh, crap. I wonder if the on user list only does a who command. Because if all it does is the who command, then it's not going to get that initial list. I need a second to think about this. And what better way to think about it than with a big black cat who's going to try desperately to get away? What do you think, Ford? Think anything here? Yes, he's thinking food. Oh, not on my keyboard. He loves my keyboard. You have a whole lap open to you right here. No. I tried. Okay. Not trying to be, I'm trying to be a little funny, but not too funny. So, to walk through some of the things that we need to think about now. Because we can't get a user list. So, okay. I think what needs to happen is the Twitch viewer class needs to store currently logged on, like a status, on, off. Currently watching. It can be a Boolean, so true, false. When the bot starts up, hopefully we can get this user list to work, and we can loop through all those users and flag them as watching. As new people join, or as people join, they are either added to the list and flagged as watching, or they are just flagged as watching if they're already in the system. As they leave, which is the part command, they are then flagged as not watching. Then what this system does here, it's points incrementer. It goes through the entire list of viewers, which contains everybody it's ever seen. And if they're currently watching, that's set to true. Bang, they are incremented. The problem I'm having, which should theoretically be a very minimal problem, but it's still an edge case I want to consider, is what happens when a bot starts up, gets into the channel, and there are people that are already there that aren't flagged as watching. How do we deal with that? That's my concern right now, because at the moment, I'm not seeing any way to get this to work because this on user list from PerkBot is not functioning. I don't know why it's not functioning, but it's not functioning. When it's called, I mean, what it's saying here is that it calls this method after you join a channel and the user list is fully received. So, and it returns the channel name. It's actually a little strange that it returns the channel name. I don't know why. I guess in case you have multiple channels you're connected to. And then it returns the usernames. It's possible I'm using it wrong, but it just... shortly after, so it's supposed to, shortly after joining the channel, it's supposed to receive a full list of users in the channel, which would be great because then I could loop through them and flag them all as watching. And then as more people join, I can just flag them as watching. But at the moment, because this isn't functioning, I'm not positive as to how to fix this. And it's possible it's my fault. I'm not totally pinning this on them. It's possible that I'm doing something wrong that I need to fix. So let's do perkbot on user list, only returning one user, maybe. Perkbot CPP. That's if you want to write it in C++. I kind of suspect this isn't the best documented thing ever. Kind of wish I could actually see the code. I think they've hidden it a little bit. I got the compiled code, which is fine. But I'd kind of like to see this being used. And I don't think on user list. Yeah, I don't think there's an example of that. Documentation. ARC hacks. You use perkbot. It would be nice if you could help me do the following. Please email me to let me know you were using it, know what you were using it for, and where it can be seen in use. Oh, whoops. You document your IRC bot on the web. It would be nice if you can create a hyperlink to this page. Bots. Okay, so this is all. Oh, whoops. What are you doing? Indicate each software product is licensed, allows you to choose between the. All right, I'm not selling this, so I'm probably safe under the GNU General Public License. Not selling it, and I'm not taking money for it. This is what I am building is entirely free, so I should be safe here. I really. And I think I did read all this before and went, yeah, but it's good to review. Are we done for the night? Okay. We have more kids. When you're done hosting trick-or-treaters, in other words, answering the door, you're supposed to close your door and turn the front light off. Not everybody follows. Not everybody recognizes that. And they'll still knock on the door, so that's what we just had. We didn't buy a ton of candy this year because we only had like 5 or 6 trick-or-treaters last year. Sessions. How do I find out who is in the channel? You can override the onUserList method to get a list of users when your bot joins the channel. To obtain this list at a later time, you can call the getUsers method, which takes a channel name as an argument. Your bot must be in a channel in order to know who is in it. It's weird. Very weird. Maybe I'm not technically joining the channel? No, that's... It's possible it was joining the server and capable of sending messages to the channel without actually joining the channel. But, I mean, according to this, at least, it's in the channel. Halloween is boring, but then I don't really do much anyway. It's once you're once you're in your teens, basically, Halloween starts getting a little more boring until you get older, and then it's not uncommon for people of our Cygnus and my age to get together and have parties for Halloween, where we aren't handing out candy, we're just drinking and having fun. None tonight, though. Our friends are all off doing other things, so and since I can't do this tomorrow, I'm doing this today. Alright, I am going to set this on verbose, which means I have to move this off screen for a second. That's not the right one. Alright, so start bot. Let me just check this out too. Make sure this is doing everything I need it to do. Your start bot, it gets the settings, it initializes the viewers from a file, sets the name, then it connects, and then it joins the channel, and then it schedules these two threads. So, it seems like it's doing everything it should be doing here. So this looks like it's right. And if we go down here, we have our two functions that are overriding what's built in. Here's our onMessage function. And this gets everything. Monitor failure there for a second. So this prints out the channel that it's looking at. And this prints out the channel it's looking at. So now, I guess I'm just wondering if, and the reason I'm setting this verbose is I want to see if it's actually, maybe it's trying to get the user list before it joins the channel, or maybe it auto-joins some weird channel and it gets the user list from that. I'm kind of at a loss at this point. I'm not sure how to really do this. So let's show the terminal. Clear it. I'm going to move it off screen because it displays my password, and I don't want to have to change that every time I stream. So all it did, okay, can't get rid of it just yet, so hang on. So it sets the password, it sets the nick. Interesting, it sets a user as perkbot8. Drag this over, no? Oh! There it is. That's the user list. I think, but it's firing up here. See, right there, or no, wait. Incrementing point. Here's the user list I need. Actually, I wonder if that... Cool. So here's the user list I need. And that it's supposed to be reading. That it's currently not. Because here's the onUserList channel that it's picking up. And it's only picking up the one person. So it's not waiting for this like it says it's supposed to. Oh, but look, these are all joins. Aha! Oops. do that. Let's reset the Java virtual machine. That's going to, it's now turned off. So let's now view. Let's just make sure. Yeah, it's not on. Okay. That was my mistake. I did that in the wrong order. Clear screen. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Where'd that go? Instead of on user list, which in all honesty, in this case, seems to be kind of useless, we're going to do onJoin. Grab that. And we're going to start playing around with this, because this might do the user list. It just doesn't do it when it's supposed to do it. Or it does do it when as far as I can tell, it does it when it's supposed to. It's the on user list isn't working when it's supposed to. It seems to be firing immediately instead of waiting like it said it was going to. Okay, so I've got the channel. It's the sender, the login, and the host name. Oh, no. Wait. I think onJoin is... Oh, no, whenever somebody joins the channel, which we are on. Okay. String. Doesn't pass any users. Well, we'll print all that stuff out. On nick change, on no, which you can't do. And then on part. Let's add on in an on part as well. So let's get all these functions in and just start printing data out so we can actually take a look at what the hell these are doing. Should these actually be public? Oh, well, it's working. Okay. So now we're going to take our trusty friend here, system out println. We are going to paste a whole ton of these in because I want to see everything that's going on here. So we are going to print out the channel. We're going to print out the sender. We're going to print out login. And we're going to print out host name. Because I don't know what I'm looking for here. We're going to do the same thing here. Channel, sender, login, host name. So I'm hoping this covers everybody that's in the channel. I'm hoping that it gives me their actual names. Be very useful. Oh yeah, let's copy and paste that. onJoin spam, and then let's do that again, but do end, and then on part spam, and then copy and paste that, and on part spam. And that way we can just tell what's firing, when it's firing, when it ends, all that good stuff. So, if instead of the user list, we might just have to have this onJoin fire, which is fine. If that has to fire, I don't care if that has to fire 1,000 times. If this works instead of the user list, I'm good. I'm really, really good on that. That's fine. And actually, I'm going to comment all this out too. This doesn't do anything anymore. Okay. So all this is going to do is print out incrementing points. We still have all the code saved, so we're good. File, blah, blah, blah. Oh, let me get rid of the verbose now, because this should be okay. That way I can let you guys see everything that I see. Bang! Look at that! Okay, that got all of our users. As we can see here, it started up... Oh, lost a little bit of it. Started up here where it got Dragonbot. When it joins its own channel, it it keeps track of that. So the bot joining the channel counts as a join, prints that out. That's fine. Like here's on the user list. So anyway, here's Dagenham Lol, that's me. Here's Signa, Slithix, Clutter of Cats, this channel owner. And here we have Singender Hazkubel. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but thank you for being in the channel. I don't think I've seen you before, but thank you for joining. Thank you for stopping by at least and checking me out. And then here's Elite Unit. So okay, why did that take so much time? Why can't they just let us use user lists? And actually, I can kind of have an answer for that. Oh no, it found me. Singender says. All right. I suspect. I don't know for a fact. I suspect people might have been creating bots or something similar to a bot that that were just going into all these different channels and just requesting user lists over and over and over again and creating tons and tons of traffic. Because while it doesn't, in our case, in this channel, it's not really, it doesn't have to send a ton of information. If you join someone like a Maz HS or Co-Carnage, Elohime, Lyric, Soda Pop, and one of them, they can have thousands and thousands and thousands of users. So if I were to create this where all it did was join a channel, get users, get users, get users, get users, it would just flood the server. And the IRC server might shut down if you can do it enough, because I mean, it's a bot. I can tell it to do it how often as I want. I don't even have to process the data. I just have to tell it I need it again and again and again and again. So they probably looked at that and went, we can shut this down. This is... We're trick-or-treaters that we aren't, fortunately, no candy for. Twitch probably looked at that and said, we've got to shut this down. We can't do this. It's not functioning. So they stopped the user list. Now, the fact that it did pick you up, Singender, I do apologize for pointing that out, that you weren't talking, and that's fine if you don't want to talk. I'm good with that. If you just want to sit back and listen, good stuff. But we needed to pick up lurkers. Because if this doesn't pick up lurkers, we run into that case where there can be people watching who aren't getting credit for watching, which is obviously not good. That's not a situation we want to be in. We want everybody that's watching, whether or not they are lurking, to get credit for watching, because that's the whole point of the loyalty bot. You don't have to send a message every 2 minutes in order to get counted for those 2 minutes. We don't want that. Or at least I don't want that. That's not what I was hoping for. Oh, I can't believe it was that simple. Oops. Not with anything. All right. I hit Control K on my OBS. I don't think that does anything, but okay. So we have some changes to make. What time is it, too? Okay. I suspect I'm going to be asked to stop and get dinner soon. Am I? Is it dinner time soon? Oh. Okay. I mean, we're already looking at 8 o'clock dinner time if you start now. Well, but I don't want to get into the point where I'm complaining and then go, okay, dinner will take an hour. Thank you. And that gives me a more defined end time, which is good. So actually, I want to check something real quick. Okay, so this here is worthless. On user list is not going to do us any good on this bot. It's unfortunate, but it's true. You guys don't need to see the mic. That is really unfortunate. But I have a way with words. Yes? I don't know. Oh boy. Okay. So this was going to loop through everybody and add them. Went for nothing. Because now I have this little function here. Does the same thing. I think all you have to do is pass the viewer name. So I'm going to leave the code here for now. I'm just going to comment it out. Wow, you get it. Oh, what was it? It was sending the channel, and then it was like the person's name twice, and then it was the person's name plus dot blah 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 stuff after it. So we need to use either the sender or the login. I guess the sender is probably the best one to use. It should just be, I should just have to do, if I can spell it, this dot add user sender, which will only add them if they aren't there. Of course, is what we want. I'm thinking too, if we add them, and also what's it called? We're going to add them. We need to flag them as watching. All right. So that means we need to modify our Twitch viewers. Private, is it like this? Viewer watching. Click Boolean, get watching, viewer watching, public void set watching, Boolean temp watching. Oops. Viewer watching equals temp watching. So all right, so I can default this to false, right? It's been a while. My reasoning behind this is that I want the onJoin to set that to true and the onPart to set it to false, but it is otherwise always false. Or you know what? I can put that in the constructor. I don't need to put that there. That's confusing. Doesn't need to be part of the constructor. We don't need to pass it. We can overload it, and and have two versions, one that does and does not take it, but it's a minor instance. It's not really necessary. Okay. Save that. So, this dot add user sender. And then this dot viewer list. Let's see this. This dot viewer list dot. Ooh, it's a couple step process. Dot get this dot viewer list dot index of. You do that. In order to get all this information, I just need to tell me how to do it. Actually, let's enable this. And let's just, I can still use this. Because instead of that, it's going to be this. Let's do Twitch viewer search viewer to new Twitch viewer sender. I don't play around with my own classes enough to remember how to use them. That's right. It's initialize viewers. This is what I'm thinking of. Instructor. Temp name, temp points, 0 tickets. Temp name 0.0 and then 0. Okay, so I have to create this temporary Twitch viewer using the name of the sender. And then have to do an index of using that in order to get the location in the vector of that user. And then I can do temp viewer set watching to true. A couple extra steps there. Because it has to, you have to have the right variables in place. But let's copy all this and put it down here. Actually, you know what? Let's just do this too. And then get rid of all this stuff. Get rid of some of those messages. And this is going to set it to false. All right, so we have all that. Now, when we loop through the list, when we have this here, we should be able to do if tempViewer.getWatching, which will return true if it's currently, if that user is currently watching. That. Let's also use our good friend system.out.println to make sure that that looks like it's working. Yeah. tempViewer.getWatching. All right. I think this is ready for testing. Creates a temporary viewer, gets the index of that viewer, which is really just the name. So it's blank everything else. Gets the index of that viewer in order to get the instance of that viewer, and then sets it to this. And then we can set watching true or false. Because then this one does false. Whew. Ah, yes. Temp viewer dot get name plus, let's do this, plus watching. Yeah, get name. All right. So now, anytime it loops through this, it'll tell us whether or not that user is watching or not. Oh, being hosted. No, Binray? That sounds familiar. Thank you for hosting us. I have to look you up now because you sound familiar to me, but I'm not. My brain is old and addled with age. I suppose. Oh, you're another game developer. Oh, I do think you've been in the channel before. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I did think I recognized the name. So welcome, everybody. I am making a Java Twitch bot right now. I'm hoping to finish this at some point in the foreseeable future, and we'll actually move on to making games. This channel is between me and my wife. I am Dagenham Lol on Twitch. I'm normally Dagenham. She is Signa. We're obviously both in the channel. If you'd like to watch it, I should say too, I'm doing this Java bot, and I'm doing it very slowly because I'm trying to explain everything I'm doing, which is, I'm sure, a little tedious for a lot of people, but I'm hoping that, you know, I'm reteaching myself this language, Java. I haven't used it in a very long time, and I'm hoping other people can pick things up too. The Java bot is currently able to connect to a channel and store all the users. I just made it so it can flag users as watching or not, so we can actually increment the points of the people who are watching. And I'm going to, once that's working, I need to get the file system in place so we can actually store all the information properly. At the moment, it just reads the file in; it doesn't print it back out. And then once that's working, I'm going to move on to Java interfaces, which I'm sure is incredibly complicated and horrible from what I remember and hear. But anyway, welcome to the channel. I hope you at least somewhat enjoy what you see. I'm doing the best I can, and like I said, flat files. My concern about doing databases, and I don't know this for a fact, my concern about doing databases is I don't want people who install this bot to have to install the database as well. If I can get that to the point where it's all seamless, I'll do it. But, and I'm totally into looking into it. I'm not as familiar with how that works, so I'm not jumping into that. I don't want people to have to what's it called? To have to run another service like a database, like MySQL, in the background, because that eats up extra resources. SQLite doesn't require any server installation. Good to know. And as its name suggests, it is light. So I tell you what, I'm going to... I think that was suggested to me before. But I am going to get it to work on flat files first. And I have somebody else recommending... I have Turkey2349 recommending not doing databases with Java. I'm not positive as to... I'm willing to investigate it. I'm not guaranteeing it either way. Flat files are easier to understand and they're easier to show people. When we get to it, because I would kind of like to do the interface first, and then come back to databases. If we look into databases, I'm totally willing to work on it and willing to try it. If it doesn't look like it's going to work the way we need it to, then obviously I'm not going to use it. Flat files is easier, and it's easier to understand. SQLite does not require installation. Hi, that your fan? I'm not technically the clutter guy. My wife and I are, and we have a clutter of cats that you can see in our profile. We have 5 cats. And if you can pull off a YAML file, that's all you need. So here we go. Let's do options for viewer storage, SQLite, or YAML file. I'm not positive as to what that is. It's been a while. But welcome to the stream, guys. We've got CP1414, Flyrain, Turkey2349, that your fan. I really appreciate you guys stopping by, which is a flat file. Sorry if I skip back and forth a little bit. File. Okay. So, I'm more than willing to take suggestions. I'm more than willing to listen to people's recommendations. I'm really rusty on Java. This is the first time I've used it. I've been using it now for a little over a month, but an hour at a time. It's the first time I've used it in about 10 years, so I'm really rusty on it. SQLite has 1 L. My mistake. So it's really SQLite then. And Rift Talk. I did miss you. I apologize. I didn't mean to. Oh yeah, there you are. Whoops. All right. Let me actually set this up then, and we'll run the bot again. I added some stuff to it, so it's possible this will error, because I've been going back and forth now for a couple seconds. Let's run the messaging system every 7 seconds. Let's run the point incrementing system every 60, so we'll set this up for real. Both of these will start 6 seconds after the bot actually starts. Actually, let's just do 7 for the messaging system. So I was playing around with to go through a little bit as to what I was doing. I was trying to use the onUserList function and get users. Twitch has seemingly disabled both of them, or at the very least, this perk bot doesn't handle them properly. It does, however, send onJoin messages for everybody else in the channel. So I'm capable of using this onJoin to grab everybody that's in the channel on the first join, and then on part, I can then flip their watching variables from true to false, and that way we don't, continue adding points to them. This will be, of course, up to a minute behind, but we're going to, at least at the moment, check every minute. Oh, temp viewer. Oh yeah, that's my mistake. It's just this. Oh, I did it again. All right. There we go. Compile. Just make sure I have verbose set off. And yeah, I'm sorry. This uses PircBot, PIRC bot, which Flyrain posted in there. It's been really helpful so far to have something that does this. Verbose is set to false. Okay, good. Or is not set to true, at least. Flutter of cats. Where's the rest of my onJoin messages? This was working before. The events aren't being called simply because Twitch is slow to send the info. Yeah, I was reading up on that. They send it in batches, and it's up to 10 seconds behind. However, I was getting... So what's this? This is the points incrementing. It didn't send the onJoin spam like it did last time. Hoi. Hey, there it is. Okay. So that is really behind. Like if you look, this is running every 7 seconds, I think, the messaging system. And it didn't flag everybody as true until like 70 seconds or something crazy like that. So that is really far behind. But if you look here, here it's starting the increment points, and it has all of us flagged as watching, which is fantastic. So let's do this, because I see at least I have not called out Fluffy Tonk. I don't think you posted anything, but thank you for watching. I don't know if this is pulling in the people from the hosting channels. I think it's only the people who are specifically in this channel. I don't know if we can even credit something that's, you know, not there. So this looks like it's actually functioning pretty well right now, which I am pleased with. It's interesting. Ah, okay, people were leaving. So let's see if it flagged them. Yep, there it is. So, all right. So when people leave, they get flagged as false. It does still double print. So let's actually, while we're doing this, let's fix that. That should be pretty easy. Close. Close the bot out, which shuts down the threads and everything. Let's clear that so we can see it. And that should be pretty easy anyway. It should be right here. This should just be a simple if. If this dot message queue dot index of temp str is greater than, or greater than, is too much of other languages, is greater than, is greater than or equal to 0. It returns, oh man, what does it return? I forget what it returns when it's not found. It might be 0, it might be -1. Java vector index of -1 if this does not contain the element. Okay. So greater than or equal to 0. Yeah, I figured it was -1, but I wanted to make sure. And then let's do this. And I don't have an end button because I am on a laptop. Oh wait, no. This is only if it equals -1 in this case, because I wanted to if the message isn't in the queue, add it to the queue. All right, so now we can't have people spam it, and that was actually that message there. Oh, we can get rid of some of this too. I have this printing out tons of stuff to try and figure out what's going on. Man, I can't believe how lagged out that is. I suppose what I'll have to do is add in a message into the README that says, which I think I have here. Oh yeah, look into SQLite right there. Batch file settings can be changed through the... Please keep in mind that the initial user list may take a minute to populate. That's great. To populate. Start the bot before you stream to make sure everyone is counted. All right. Oh, hey, so check this out. We are now accruing for time watched. We, at the moment, do not have anything that allows the streamer to modify points. Eventually, what I'll have in there is I'll have commands in there that I'll be able to type in, like, add points 4, and then it would give everybody 4 points. Not in yet. Allow users to spend points. Haven't gotten to that point yet for raffles and games. Functionality, can connect, can scan the list for viewers. That is an X. It is now doing that. Settings, hard-coded. That was done already. The file is in place. We aren't reading all the settings just yet from that file, but that's fine. And then, of course, we have the interface, which isn't working yet. All right. Save that. Okay. So let's get rid of some of this stuff too, because this looked to be working. These are just test messages. And unfortunately, all of that can go away. In fact, this whole function doesn't do anything. Twitch has a limiter. They don't want you joining a ton of channels and getting tons of spam. So they prevent you from getting user lists. And I mentioned this before, but just so everybody here knows, you can't get the user list, but apparently up to a minute after you join a channel, you will get a spam of joins. And you can use this to add them to that. I have this as well that that flags them. I'm just wondering if I should... I'm going to run this here too, actually. Because if they're sending a message, they're in the channel, and they should be flagged as watching. Sender, search viewer, set one true. This might end up flagging it true more often than it needs to. I'm going to leave that out for now, actually. That might be... CP1414 says that you can get a list by sending a who command. That is normally true, but if you look at Twitch, here's some Twitch IRC information. And where is it? The who is currently depreciated, so you can't actually do that anymore. When you run a who command, you only get yourself. So that is gone. They might add it back in at a later date. At the moment, it's not. It's not there. It's unfortunate. I did try that first. That's when I spent the first 15, 20 minutes was trying to get this to work. Or, instead of that, I was using the perkbot get users. Wasn't functioning. Which, like I said, is really unfortunate. Yeah, see, you said deprecated. And that's the word I always knew it as, but here they have it as depreciated. Just as a side note, that was bugging me a little bit. All right. Oh man, so what's even next? That is basically what I wanted to accomplish today. And like I said, next time I'm going to play around with files a little more. I'm going to look in a little more to the SQL. And Binray says, I think those are synonyms. I think you're right, but I swear I looked up deprecated at one point. Deprecated. Like here's deprecate. Express disapproval of. Another term for depreciate. Oh, yeah, you're right. They're just synonyms. Cool. That might be something where it depends where you're from. Like, I think typically I've seen deprecated in terms of programming languages, but then like something would depreciate in value. I don't know. It's irrelevant, I suppose. I'm going to leave this get settings function. I'm going to leave this as a flat file so people can open it, read it, modify it easily. But what I'm going to do is, and I think I'm going to do this next time because I need to get, I need to look into how to use JSON. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a couple of test files. I might even use these two. I'm going to read in the file in its current format, write it back as JSON, and then make sure I can read it back in once it is in JSON. And that's probably going to be, what's it called? JSON's probably going to be the format it's going to stay for a little while, and then what I'll do is I'll work on, once we get that functioning, then I'm thinking do the interface, and then we'll start going back and doing optional things like look into SQLite. Hard to say for some reason. I'm so used to saying just SQL. But if SQLite works, I will get that. If that works, then I will use that, because I'd much rather use databases, in all honesty. I really would. Files are just nice and easy, and they don't require the extra service. So CP1414 says, in mainstream English, the infinitive to deprecate means to express disapproval of. It derives from the Latin verb deprecare, meaning to ward off a disaster by prayer. Thus, for one to state that a feature is deprecated is merely a recommendation against using it. It is still possible to produce a program or product without heeding the deprecation. Even if something is deprecated, you ought to be able to use it until it's fully removed. So still a misuse of the word. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's possible that I could find some way to send the exact who command, but generally when they're in the process of deprecating something, that means they don't like you to use it, or they are in the process of removing it. So with that in mind, I'd rather get this set up to the point where I don't have to come back to it in a year and fix it, if that's at all possible. I will. I intend on continuing to support this bot once it's out, assuming it actually is worth releasing. We're going to find that out relatively soon by the look of it. But yeah, well, Twitch is a little silly, but I don't fully blame them in all honesty. My guess is the reason they don't want you to use the who command is, and again, this is a guess, I don't know that this is what happened. Someone might have created a bot to go into these channels, maybe it connects to 5 channels with 20,000 viewers, which happens, and just processed who commands. Didn't do anything with the data, it just went who, endlessly. And so Twitch looked at that and went, we can't do that. That's not allowed. And so rather than trying to throttle it, I guess, like you could only do it once per minute, they just said, nope, gone. And it looks like they enhanced the join command. It actually, when you join a channel, it fires off a join for everybody in there. So still, I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about it. This looks like it's working. Need to play around with it a lot, but looks like it's functioning. Looks like it's going to be good. If it isn't, it isn't. If we need to use the who command, we can look into that a little more. But like I said, the perkbot functions, which I believe fire the who command off on user list, which is supposed to fire when you join a channel, it's supposed to fire once it receives all the users, which it doesn't. It only provides you, doesn't, or the bot in this case. It doesn't provide everybody else. And the get users function, which I would imagine also uses the who command, only provides you. Not sure if that means that perkbot isn't doing it right or if Twitch is blocking it. My guess is Twitch is blocking it, though. And like I said, I don't blame them. There's a potential to really abuse the who commands, and that's on them. That's how they want to solve it. That's fine with me. There's still potentially ways to work around it. I mean, if you... I doubt they would like this either, but there's got to be a way to get the web page out of, or maybe it's the API. You could use the Twitch API to get who's currently watching a stream. Again, that's probably delayed, but this looks like it's working. onJoin, I actually kind of like that it works by onJoin, because that way it works anytime somebody joins a channel, and it's immediate as to when they join the channel, instead of only getting it once per minute. So yeah, but anyway, my throat's getting a little dry. I'm not used to talking this much straight through. Dinner is smelling really good, and I'm getting tired. What can I say? Got a good bit done today. We got the user list is now being updated according to who's in the channel, so it's not just updating the people who have been talking, which is fantastic. And yeah, and it's we also prevented people from being able to be added to a points list more than once. You were only added once, and it's the first time. And we researched the user lists and everything. And so for next time, which will most likely be on Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to work on files and converting them into a better format than a flat format. Because I think the current format has just, clutter of cats, 30 points. And we're going to convert that, I'm thinking, into JSON. I think that's going to be overall the cleanest method to read in and print out. But yeah. So I hope to see you all on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I usually stream programming on Mondays and Wednesdays at the same time. And I try and do Saturdays. This Saturday, November 1st, is an exception. I have a family function that I need to go to. Oh, I apologize, Rift Talk. The bot is not currently running, so there's no points being accrued yet. We're not doing any raffles in this channel just yet either. Once we are getting closer to testing that stuff, what I'll end up doing is giving everybody a ton of points to make sure everything works. So, files. I'm getting ready to leave. Yeah, I'm saying a long goodbye. I have been streaming since 6. All of my past videos are available on our YouTube channel. They'll be available in our past broadcasts for a couple of weeks as well. I will export that right after I'm done here. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your recommendations too. Thank you for helping me test this. Just thanks all around for all that stuff. I really appreciate the help. I really appreciate the viewership, and I really look forward to being able to being done with this so that we can move on to games, because I love games and I'm looking forward to making them. So, that said, I hope to see you all again on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which will be 5 hours off or 4 hours off of GMT. I'm not positive. We go through daylight savings time this weekend, so that's going to screw everything up. I was saying goodbye too many times. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you all again soon.